If he's a honest spiritual master, then you have to sacrifice your entire life for him. And all your material possessions, they will become his possessions. Understand? And he will use your material possessions in Krishna's seva, not his own service. Understand? So here, a devotee already attracted by the name, form, qualities, etc. of the Supreme Lord may be directed to his specific manner of devotional service. He did not waste time in approaching the Lord through logic. The expert spiritual master knows well how to engage his disciples' energy in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. And thus he engages a devotee in a specific devotional service according to his special tendency. So expert spiritual master will engage you. They know what is perfectly well for that devotee. Like our Gurudev was there, he would give someone some service for editing. Someone will give him service for Hare Krishna Prabhu. हाँ संडे को एकादशी ठीक है ना हरे कृष्ण थैंक यू प्रभु धन्यवाद हरे so you can see that Gurudev will engage you like our Gurudev knew exactly well who can do what seva. For example, he used to tell Premananda Prabhu to look after kitchen. He used to tell Bhaktivedanta Tirtha Maharaj that you look for rice collection for Parikrama and you give class when scholarly class has to be given like this. He told Sripad Danti Maharaj that you translate the books to South Indian languages and take care of this Hesarkata temple. One day it will become an ashram like Vasishtha and Vishwamitra. You preach in South India. He told me that you translate Brihad Bhagavata Amritam to English language. So he engaged us. And by his mercy, by the potency of his words, Gurudev, when he gives the order, his words carry some weight also. The potency, the empowerment to perform that, to finish that order, accomplish that order, is also present in his order itself. Understand? So we should never worry. If Gurudev orders us, we should try to do it as much as possible. The expert spiritual master knows well how to engage the disciples' energy in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. And thus he engages a devotee in a specific devotional service according to his special tendency. A devotee must have only one initiating spiritual master because in the scriptures, acceptance of more than one is always forbidden. Now, this is also there. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj is telling that you must not take more than one initiating spiritual master. But I think I'll tell you one nice incident that Sripad Lakshmi Narayan Prabhu. He was living in Bangalore. He was a good friend of Sripad Danti Maharaj and retired engineer. So he showed Maharaj that Hesarkatta land. So Lakshmi Narayan Prabhu, he was initiated in Sri Ramanu Sampradaya. So Ramanu Sampradaya, he got Ashtakshari mantra, Narayan mantra. Then he came to Gurudev, he met Gurudev. Then he told Gurudev that, will I have to take initiation again from you? Because now I am hearing your Harikatha. Then he said, Gurudev said, yes, because the mantra they give you will take you only to Vaikuntha. But the mantras I am going to give you, they will take you to Golak Vrindavan, much higher, even beyond Dwarka and Vaikuntha. So you must be initiated again. So in this way, he changed the sampradaya. Although he had a Diksha Guru from previous sampradaya, but because his melo was higher and he could have achieved higher potential, then he had to take mantra again from our Gurudev. And Gurudev became his Diksha Guru. Means he got a promotion actually. He got a promotion. That is the thing. Understand? But then he had still only one Diksha Guru. Because his previous Diksha Guru was replaced by Gurudev. Understand? Because previous Diksha Guru could not have taken him any higher than Vaikuntha. And his Swarupa dictated that he could go higher to Golok Vrindavan. So Gurudev became his Diksha Guru. But as far as the Shiksha Gurus are concerned, there is no limit. the number of instructing spiritual masters. Generally, a spiritual master who constantly instructs a disciple in spiritual science becomes his initiating spiritual master later on. So you can see the class 7. Okay. So, generally, a spiritual master who constantly instructs a disciple in spiritual science becomes his initiating spiritual master later on. Now, this is true about Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. He actually had many disciples. So, there were other disciples they used to canvass on his behalf, and they used to invite young boys to meet Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. They used to hear the classes of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, and then they used to get initiated by him. So that time, their Diksha Guru and Shiksha Guru were both the same. In my case also that happened. By the preaching of the Vaishnavas, mercy of the Vaishnavas, I heard about Srila Gurudev. And I had heard his classes online also. Then I heard his Harikatha. And mainly I heard his lectures only than any other Vaishnavas, because every Kartik he used to give 1 hour class in the morning, mainly on Damodar Ashtakam. Evening used to give class on the Madhurya Kadambini, Chaitanya Charitamrut, Prema Samput, Chamatkar Chandrika, Bhajan Rahasya, so many books. He used to give classes, Gita Govinda and so many things. So, he was my main instructing spiritual master also, because I heard the most Harikatha from him. But then there were other Vaishnavas like Shripad Dandi Maharaj, Shripad Tirtha Maharaj. Their Harikatha also I heard. So they are also like Shiksha Gurus, understand? They are also like Shiksha Gurus. I learned so much from them also. But main instructing spiritual master was my initiating spiritual master himself was my main instructing spiritual master. Understand? So here, one should always remember that a person who is reluctant to accept a spiritual master and be initiated is sure to be baffled in his endeavor to go back home, back to Godhead. So you should not be reluctant to accept the spiritual master. One time I remember in Bangalore, one lady came to meet Gurudev. And I was also present there. And Gurudev told her, please accept Diksha from me. I will give you the mantras. She said, no, right now I am not ready to accept Diksha from you, but please give me blessing that I will be able to visit Vrindavan and do Brajamandal Parikrama next Kartik. Then Gurudev replied, what is the use of doing Brajamandal Parikrama without taking initiation? Understand? Something like that he told. Means he was telling that you must have a relationship with first. Without a relationship, doing Brajamandal Parikrama will get you a lot of sukruti, but nothing more than that. But if you do it with proper relationship, by the mercy of Gurudev, then so much better result will come. Right. Like some people were following Ritvik philosophy. Ritvik philosophy is the philosophy in which they say that Prabhupada is the last Guru, Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj. After that, there is no Guru. You simply follow him, read his books, accepting him as your spiritual master, you will be delivered. So, Srila Gurudev used to oppose this philosophy. He used to say, no, there will always be one spiritual master in this material world who is very, very pure in nature. Or there could be many such spiritual masters who are very pure in nature. The world would not survive unless such spiritual masters exist. At any given point of time, there must be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least handful of liberated spiritual masters, eternally perfect spiritual masters, or those who have become perfect by sadhana. Such high-class spiritual masters must be there. Understand? Like for example, in ISKCON, there was Srila Gaur Govind Maharaj. He was a very high class of Vaishnava. And he used to preach very boldly in ISKCON. Very much boldly. But in 1996, he left the world. So like that. So he was a very pure devotee. Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj. Even after Swami Maharaj left, there was Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Madhava Goswami Maharaj, Srila Gaur Govind Maharaj. Even when Gaur Govind Maharaj left, there were Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj, Bhakti Vaibhav Puri Maharaj, our Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Vallabh Tirtha Maharaj. They were all pure devotees. Understand? Then they also left. Then Bhakti Gyan Bharati Maharaj was there. Then he also left. Then Sripad Dandi Maharaj. They all are there. The pure Vaishnavas must be there. Otherwise, this world, Srila Nirud Prabhuji, they are still there. They are doing strong Nam Bhajan, Sadhan Bhajan, and as a result of the Nam, Shuddha Namam, this world is surviving. So you cannot say that this world has no pure devotee at all. That this parampara has ended, now you have to take a decision only from Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj before his picture or before his deity, and you have to read his books. Now that's it, the Guru Parampara is finished. No, not like that. There will always be one spiritual master who can initiate you with Shuddha Namam, Shuddha Mantra. Understand? One who is not properly initiated may present himself as a great devotee, but in fact, he is sure to encounter many stumbling blocks on his path of progress towards spiritual realization, with the result that he must continue his term of material existence without relief. So, if an organization has no pure initiating spiritual master, then there is no chance that that organization would have any pure disciples also. Because if the bija, if the seed of the mantra is not pure, then those who are chanting that mantra can also not be pure devotees. So there will be only pure devotees in any organization only if the initiating spiritual master is very pure. Understand? Then his purity will be reflected in the disciples. Understand? And if we don't accept a liberated spiritual master, then we'll continue our term of material existence without relief. Such a helpless person is compared to a ship without a rudder. For such a ship can never reach its destination. So, this Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj is telling in his purport that the ship without rudder cannot reach its destination. So, like that, a person without a bona fide spiritual master cannot reach across the ocean of birth and death. This material body is actually compared to a boat. And we have to use this boat to cross the ocean of repeated birth and death. And who is the captain of this boat? Who is the captain of the boat of this material body? The spiritual master. This material body is powered by Harinam. Harinam is Nauka Khani, Shri Guru Kandari. So when we are sitting in a boat, then you need a very expert helmsman, very expert captain for that boat, and that is the spiritual master. He'll make sure that your boat doesn't sink but reaches the destination across the ocean of birth and death. So here it is very clearly told, if there is no chance to serve the spiritual master directly, the service of the spiritual master is essential. If there is no chance to serve the spiritual master directly, a devotee should serve him by remembering his instructions. There is no difference between the spiritual master's instructions and the spiritual master himself. So here there are two things. There is Vani Seva and Vapu Seva. Vani Seva means serving the words of the spiritual master. And Vapu means the body. Like Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada had many servants like Paramananda Prabhu and others. They were serving him in so many ways. Giving him massage, cooking for him, washing his clothes, all these sevas were there. But Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj did not receive such an opportunity to do close service to the Vapu, transcendental body of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. But he got only one instruction. Why, you are an educated person, learned in English. Why don't you preach the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the Western world? Please do this. Now, this order of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, he made it his aim and object of his life to fulfill that desire of spiritual master. He can continually wrote to different agencies so that they can give him an air ticket or a ticket on a boat for voyage, sea voyage, to go to America or England or Europe somewhere to preach. He kept on trying till he succeeded. So he did Vani Seva. He served the words of the spiritual master and he transmitted those words. So if we are not so fortunate to give massage to Srila Gurudev or wash his clothes, then we should not worry. Obviously, when we get a chance to do some seva to the spiritual master by our body, like cleaning his room, cleaning his toilet, washing his clothes, making garland for him, this seva. Cooking, cutting vegetables, all this seva for spiritual master. That is very good. But if you cannot get that, then just, if you are living in a remote country or remote place, then, or you are in household life, then just ask him what I should do for you, what will please you, and then try to follow his instructions. That is called Vani Seva. So here it is told very clearly, there is no chance to serve the spiritual master directly. The devotee should serve him by remembering his instructions. There is no difference between the spiritual master's instructions and the spiritual master himself. Because spiritual master and his instructions are absolute, there is no difference between him and his instructions. If one thinks that he is above consulting anyone else, including a spiritual master, he is at once an offender at the lotus feet of the Lord. Such an offender can never go back to Godhead. It is imperative that a serious person accepts a bona fide spiritual master in terms of the Shastric injunctions. So no one is above the consultation of the spiritual master. No, you must consult the spiritual master. You should always consult him. As much as possible for every single detail, if possible, small detail. But at least for the big details, major decisions of your life, you should always consult him. Ask him questions. Ask him for his guidance, his opinion. Also, always double check your decision with him. Especially major decisions should be double checked. Understand? Because his guidance is vital for our success. If one thinks that he is above consulting anyone else, including a spiritual master, he is at once an offender at the lotus feet of the Lord. Such an offender can never go back to Godhead. It is imperative that a serious person accept a bona fide spiritual master in terms of the Shastric injunctions. So there are three rails. Shastra, Sadhu and Guru. So there is a law of majority. What is the law of majority? The law of majority is that you check what the spiritual master says and what the sadhu says. If both of them agree, but they are against spiritual master, still you should follow their instructions because they are majority. Because Guru is telling something and sadhu is also telling something. But if Guru is telling something else and the scriptures and sadhus are telling something else, then you have to disregard the instruction of the Guru because the majority is now in the favor of Shastra and Sadhus. Understand? If Guru and Shastra is telling something and Sadhus are telling something else, then still you have to follow the majority. What Guru and Shastra says, you follow that. So out of the three, what the two are telling or all three are telling, then that you have to follow. Understand? So you have to validate this law of majority. Generally speaking, all three of them unanimously telling something equally, you have to follow that. Like Harinam, Ekadashi, all agree. Scriptures agree, spiritual master agrees, sadhu also agrees. But there are some matters where there may be conflict of opinion and the sadhaka becomes very much disturbed. Oh, what should I do now? So follow the law of majority. Understand? For example, Mahashivratri is coming on 1st of March. My Gurudev told me that you must fast on Mahashivratri, because follow fast like Ekadashi on Mahashivratri. Because Shiva is the best of the Vaishnavas, your bhakti will increase by worshipping Lord Shiva or fasting on his day in his honor on Mahashivratri day. The scriptures like Hari Bhakti Vilas also recommend, yes, how to follow Mahashivratri fast, they elaborately describe. So Sanatana Goswami has written the Mahashivratri Vrata. But there is some sadhu, another sannyasi from some other institution or mata. He says that no. We are Vaishnavas, why should we worship Lord Shiva? Then what you have to do? Then you have to follow the majority. The Gurudev is telling, Hari Bhakti Vilas is telling, you should still do Mahashivratri. Understand? So like that. Majority whatever says, you have to follow that. But for example, the scriptures are telling something, but Guru and Vaishnavas are saying no, don't do it. Then, for example, scriptures tell you, go ahead, worship Rukmini and Satyabhama and Dwarkadish Krishna. Go ahead, worship them. But Gurudev is telling, no, don't waste your time worshipping Rukmini Dwarkadish and Satyabhama Dwarkadish. That will only take you to Dwarka. Radharani will reject you if you do that. Then, although the scriptures have given so many mantras to worship Rukmini Satyabhama with Dwarkadish, we don't chant those mantras and we don't so much contemplate on the Dwarka pastimes. Understand? Because what Guru says, that is, and the sadhu also tell that. So we should try to follow the law of majority. Understand? Because if you meditate on Dwarka pastimes, then you will land in Dwarka, not in Golok Vrindavan. So if one thinks that he is above consulting anyone else, including a spiritual master, he is at once offender at the lotus feet of the Lord. So Sri Jiva Goswami advises that one not accept a spiritual master in terms of hereditary and customary social and ecclesiastical convenience. Understand? Ecclesiastical convenience. So here it is told that in Vrindavan there is a custom. The father is the Guru, disciple is also the Acharya, Goswami. So they are like Radharaman Goswami or any Goswami. They say that, yes, he is, as soon as he is born in our family, he is a Goswami. Understand? And they use the title Goswami. Like Pundarik Goswami from Radharaman family, Pundarik Goswami. He is actually young person, giving good Bhagavad Gita, but they immediately give him the title Goswami. Understand? So, but our Acharyas and Gurudev is telling that no one can be a Goswami by rubber stamping. He must have the qualities like Rupa Goswami. Go means senses and Swami means the master of the senses. When we can control the senses, then he is a Goswami. Understand? So, we don't take that title Goswami by rubber stamping, but rather developing those qualities. So, we have to be true Goswami. One should simply try to find a genuinely qualified spiritual master for actual advancement in spiritual understanding. So that is our responsibility. We should try to find a genuine spiritual master. But these days, many people are rubber stamping themselves as Sadguru. I saw that in one YouTube video that one sadhu is manifesting shalagram from the mouth, or shivalinga from the mouth, gold from the mouth, vibhuti from the hand. So they have some mystic potencies or magic tricks, they know. They are not really gurus. Some people also use the title Sadguru. They say, my name is Sadguru. Means I am already Sadguru by name itself. But actually, see, their teachings are not Vaishnavism. Only a Vaishnava is a Guru. Even if you take mantras, I remember that there was one Guru in India, he used to give mantra at a time. 1 lakh people, 2 lakh people, 3 lakh, 5 lakh. He was not a Vaishnava. And he initiated innumerable persons in India. Understand? but he himself was not a Vaishnava. So what to do? If you receive a mantra from a non-Vaishnava, then you should try to approach a bona fide spiritual master and again get initiated. If you chant a mantra given by a non-devotee, you'll go to hell. Avaishnopadishta mantrena nirayam vrajit punasya samyak vidina grahayat Vaishnava guru. If a non-devotee, a Vaishnava has given you mantra, then you should reject that Vaishnava guru and that is mantra, and you should accept again a Vaishnava guru and receive mantra from him. If you chant even a good mantra received from the bad teacher, non-devotee, that mantra will only take you to hell. It will not give you any pious merit. Now we are coming to the verse 36. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Dasa Raghunath. Shri Rupa means Srila Rupa Goswami. Sanatana means Srila Sanatana Goswami. Bhatta Raghunath means Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. Shri Jiva means Shri Jiva Goswami. Gopal Bhatta means Gopal Bhatta Goswami. And Das Raghunath, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami is telling that my instructing spiritual masters are Shri Rupa Goswami, Shri Sanatana Goswami, Shri Bhatta Raghunath, Shri Jiva Goswami, Shri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, Shri Raghunath Das Goswami. Now he has accepted 6 Shiksha Gurus. He has accepted 6 Shiksha Gurus, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. So we should also accept this 6 Shiksha Gurus. Ei Chaya Guru Shiksha Guru Je Amar Tansabhara Pada Padme Koti Namaskar. These 6 are my instructing spiritual masters, and therefore I offer millions of respectful obeisances unto their lotus feet. By accepting the 6 Goswamis as his instructing spiritual masters, the author specifically makes it clear that one should not be recognized as a Gaudiya Vaishnava if he is not obediently following them. So first of all, we have to see what is the name of his spiritual master. And if his spiritual master is genuine, then there is a chance that he will be the genuine person. Understand? So there is a chance of someone being genuine if he is following the spiritual master very clearly. If he is initiated. And he is calling the Sri Goswami as instructing spiritual masters, not initiating spiritual masters. By accepting the 6 Goswamis as his instructing spiritual masters, the author specifically makes it clear that one should not be recognized as a Gaudiya Vaishnava if one is not obedient to them. Understand? To be Rupanuga Vaishnava, to be a Gaudiya Vaishnava means to recognize these 6 Goswamis. भगवानेर भक्त जत श्रीनिवास श्रीवास प्रधान रासवार पाद पद्मे सहस्त्र pranam. Now he's telling that there are innumerable devotees of the Lord, of whom Srivas Thakur is the foremost. I offer my respectful obeisances thousands of times unto their lotus feet. He's telling that there are devotees of Bhagavan. There are innumerable devotees of Bhagavan, but among them Srivas Thakur is the foremost. Because Srivas Pandit is actually Narad Muni. I offer my respectful obeisances unto thousands of times unto their lotus feet. So what happened that these senior Vaishnavas, so they among them the best is Srivas Thakur, who is incarnation of Narad Muni. Advaitacharya Prabhura Amshavatar, text 39. Advaitacharya Prabhura Amshavatar, Tandrapada Padme Koti Pranati Amar. Advaitacharya is the Lord's partial incarnation. And therefore I offer my obeisances millions of times at his lotus feet. So Advaitacharya may look very simple, but actually is Mahavishnu. He is actually a partial incarnation of Bhagavan Shri Krishna himself. Nityananda Raya Prabhu Swarupa Prakash Tandra Pada Padme Vando Jandra Muidas. Now he's telling that Shri Nityananda Ram is the plenary manifestation of the Lord, and I have been initiated by him. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto his lotus feet. So you can see here that he is offering obeisances to his Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Nityananda Ram. गदाधर पंडितादि प्रभुर निज शक्ति तासवार चरणे मोर सहस्त्र प्रणति. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the internal potency of the Lord, of whom Sri Gadadhar Prabhu is the foremost. So basically, Bhagavan has many internal potencies, and one of them is Sri Gadadhar Prabhu. Gadadhar Prabhu is the Gaura Shakti, the potency of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Swayam Bhagavan Tahar Padaravendi Ananta Pranam. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Swayam Bhagavan. I offer millions and millions of obeisances at his lotus feet. Lord Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the personality of God himself, and therefore I offer innumerable prostrations at his lotus feet. So you can see Mahaprabhu is declared as the supreme personality of Godhead. Savarane Prabhura Karya Namaskar. Ei Chayate Ho Jai Che Karye Vichar. He is offering obeisances to the Supreme Lord along with his associates. Savarane Prabhure Karya Namaskar. Understand? So in this, first you have to wash the Savarana along with his associates. So we have to worship the Lord along with associates. Having offered obeisance unto Lord and all his associates, I shall now try to explain these 6 diversities in one. There are many unallied devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all of whom are considered associates surrounding the Lord. Krishna should be worshipped with his devotees. The diverse principles are therefore the eternal paraphernalia through which the absolute truth can be approached. Like we see, I used to go to Satara in Maharashtra. So Sripad Dandi Maharaj told me preach in Maharashtra, so I used to go to Satara. And there is one Goshala there is one deity of Krishna with Krishna alone standing. Maybe there is a cow behind him and he is alone, not with Radharani. So that Krishna looked a little serious, not smiling. But when he is with Radharani, he is smiling. So it is told that Yada Bhati Radha Sange Tada Madana Mohana Ayatha Vishwamohopi Swayam Madana Mohita. Krishna can conquer the whole world and also the Cupid only by the mercy of Radharani. But if Radharani is not with him, then he cannot conquer the whole world and he cannot conquer the Cupid. So we worship Radha and Krishna, not Krishna alone. Yashoda Krishna, those in Vatsalya, or Krishna and Balram. We cannot worship Krishna alone. Only Mayavadis would do that. They said Vasudevam. Everything is Vasudev. That is their conception. But Krishna is never alone. Like Gurudev told that Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Why Krishna is called Kunja Bihari, sporting in the Kunja? He is going for cow herding. Going to cow herding is only for some excuse. Actually, he wants to meet Radharani and the gopis. Understand? But some pretext is required to meet the gopis. So therefore, he uses the pretext of tending the cows. But the main purpose is always that he simply wants to see the gopis and joke with them, dance with them. So we worship Krishna along with the gopis or gopas or servants. The diverse principles are therefore the eternal paraphernalia through which the absolute truth can be approached. Yadyapi amara guru chaitanya radas tathapi janiyami tahara prakash. Although I know that my spiritual master is the servitor of Sri Chaitanya, I know him also as a plenary manifestation of the Lord. Understand? Every living entity is essentially a servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. and the spiritual master is also his servant. Still, the spiritual master is a direct manifestation of the Lord. With this conviction, a disciple can advance in Krishna consciousness. The spiritual master is non-different from Krishna because he is a manifestation of Krishna. So that is the power of the spiritual master. He is a non-different from Krishna, but he is also very dear to Krishna also. Lord Nityananda, who is Balram himself, the first direct manifestation or expansion of Krishna, is the original spiritual master. He is called Akhanda Guru Tattva. Basically, there are two sets of gurus who are coming to this world. One set of gurus come from Radharani. They are the bodily expansions of Radharani, Kaya Vyo. The other set of gurus, they come from Nityananda Prabhu or Balram. And they are coming from Balramji. So there are two types of gurus. Those who are serving under the guidance of Radharani, means those who are the Kaya view of Radharani, like followers of Rup Manjari, Rati Manjari and all. And then there are also some spiritual masters who are followers of Nityananda Prabhu, his Sakhyaras. Understand? Lord Nityananda, who is Balram himself, Brajendra Nandana Jai Shachisuta Hoilo Sahi Balaram Hoilo Nitai. Papi Tapi Jatachilo Hariname Uddarilo Tar Sakshi Jagai Madai. So Sachinandan Gaurari is Krishna himself. So Nityananda is also Balram himself. He is a direct manifestation or expression of Krishna. He helps Lord Krishna in his pastimes and he is a servant of the Lord. So he is the Sevaka Tattva. Although Nityananda Prabhu is non-different from Krishna, but he doesn't call himself the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He regards himself as the Supreme Personality of Servitorship. I am the best of the servants, the foremost servants of Lord Vishnu. Lord Nityananda is Balram himself, the first direct manifestation or expansion of Krishna. He is the original spiritual master. He helps Lord Krishna in his pastimes and he is a servant of the Lord. Every living entity is eternally a servant of Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Therefore, the spiritual master cannot be other than a servant of Lord Chaitanya. So understand. So spiritual master is also part and parcel of Krishna, servant of Lord Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Understand. So every living entity is eternally a servant of Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Therefore, the spiritual master cannot be other than a servant of Lord Chaitanya. So everyone is servant of Shri Krishna Chaitanya. So spiritual master is also servant of Lord Chaitanya. The spiritual master's eternal occupation is to expand the service of the Lord by training disciples in a service attitude. That is very important. He has to give service attitude to the disciples. And he has to train up the disciples, spiritual master. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is a servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So spiritual master who is a servant of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu must cultivate the boys. Understand? A spiritual master never poses as the Supreme Lord himself. Like Gurudev was telling that so many people are pretending to be God in Delhi itself. Every day news comes that this Baba is Bhagwan, that Baba is Bhagwan. Understand? But then he leaves this world after some time and dies. So actually, a spiritual master never poses as the Supreme Lord himself. He is considered a representative of the Lord. He is Pratinidhi, Jana Pratinidhi. The revealed scriptures prohibit one's pretending to be God, but a bona fide spiritual master is a most faithful and confidential servant of Lord and therefore deserves as much respect as Krishna. Understand? So the revealed scriptures prohibit one's pretending to be God. We should not say, I am God. This is Ahangra Upasana. I am Krishna. This is not recommended, Ahangra Upasana. Don't think that you are God. Understand? Rather, you should think that I am the servant of God. So, a bona fide spiritual master is very faithful and is a confidential servant of the Lord, and therefore he deserves as much respect as Krishna. Text 45. Guru Krishna Rupe Haya Shastra Pramane Guru Rupe Krishna Krupa Karena Bhakta Gade. According to the deliberate opinion of all revealed scriptures, The spiritual master is not different from Krishna. Lord Krishna, in the form of the spiritual master, delivers his devotees. So there is no difference between the spiritual master and Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna, in the form of the spiritual master, delivers his disciples. Understand? So we have to see here the relationship of a disciple with the spiritual master is as good as his relationship with the Supreme Lord. A spiritual master always represents himself as the humblest servitor of the personality of Godhead, but the disciple must look upon him as the manifested representation of God. So, spiritual master will tell, I am a humble servant of Krishna. But disciple must always think that he is nothing but the direct manifested representation of Godhead. He is the Pratinidhi. He is the representative of Krishna. I must respect him. This is very important. Understand? The time is getting up. We'll consider next verse will be very big. Huh? So 46 will be Acharya Mam Vijaniya Nava Mandita Karchit Nabhadyavati Buddhyas Sarvadeva Mayoguru. So this verse will take up next time. Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpatarvasya Kripa Sindhuvasya Pradhanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo. If anyone has any questions, please ask. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavan Param. Maharaj, one
Dhanavad.
question, Maharaj. Ekadasi is for us in South Africa on Sunday.
Yes, yes,
Okay?
yes.
Yeah. And then we keep Nirjal. Then in
Okay.
South Africa on Monday is Shivaratri on the 28th. So what do? We follow the 1st March or the 28th February?
No, actually, what you do is 27th you have to fast, right? 27th you are fasting. So 28th you do paran after check the time after sunrise generally. So or 28th you do paranam means you take grains. Understand? And
Yes.
then on the 1st you can observe Mahashivratri on the 1st.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Because
Okay.
if you observe on 28th itself Mahashivratri and then you don't break the fast, then you lose the benefit of Ekadashi. If Ekadashi is coming, then you have to give the topmost priority to Ekadashi. I'll give an
Okay.
example. The last time the Ekadashi was there, the very next day there was Varaha Mahadvadashi. Now, Varaha Mahadvadashi day, you have to fast again. But there would be 2 fasts in succession, rapid succession, one after another. So, if you don't break the fast on the next day, then Ekadashi is also ruined. A big problem may come. So, you may lose bhakti. So, Ekadashi should always be properly followed. Means, what is proper following? Not only fasting, but the next day, breaking the fast properly. If you have done Nirjal, then you can break the fast with only 1 drop of Charanamrita. But if you have not done Nirjal, then you can take some grains. Understand? So, fasting and breaking the fast also very important. Breaking the fast very, very important. So, therefore, you can fast on the first. But I'll check with Shripa Dandi Maharaj. But I don't think you'll recommend 2 fast in rapid succession. If you are doing Nirjal, and then you can break with Charanamrita also, or with a drop of water, and you can continue fasting on Mahashivratri. So that is fine. But I'll check with Dandi Maharaj, because in our calendar, the 1st March is the Mahashivratri. So there's sometimes there's a problem with different calendars. That's why Maharaj told me, don't write the dates of Ekadashi as of yet. We'll do some research, he said. And case by case we'll decide. Understand?
Okay. Thank you,
So,
Maharaj. Thank you.
Hare Krishna,
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. All right, Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Mohan Prabhu.
What is the, how do you observe Shivaratri, Maharaj?
Shivratri generally observed like Ekadashi only. Means till 12 o'clock you don't take anything, at 12 o'clock noon, and then you take fruit, any fruit, potatoes, groundnuts with the rock salt, and anything like fruit juices, and any dry fruit or anything like that. Means all the Ekadashi preparations which are valid for Ekadashi also valid on Mahashivratri. But only difference is that Ekadashi comes every 15 days and Mahashivratri comes only once in a year. Understand? So Mahashivratri should be followed exactly like Advait Acharya Saptami or Nityananda Trayodasi or Ekadashi. Understand? Fasting till noon and then taking some Ekadashi Prasada. Next day after sunrise you break the fast. Understand? So those who want bhakti, they must please Lord Shiva because Lord Shiva is the best of the Vaishnavas and he is very merciful. So we are trying to please Lord Shiva by this, offering him respect. Without respecting Vaishnavas, we cannot advance in bhakti. So we have to take their mercy so that we can advance in bhakti. Understand? Hare Krishna. Hare
And
Krishna.
do we have to keep awake the whole night, Maharaj?
That depends on your physical ability. Actually, Ekadashi day, you have to also stay awake, observe night vigil, do kirtan all night, not sleep during the daytime, not take even water, just survive on breathing, not even brush your teeth, only 7 times you have to rinse your mouth. But then we are Kali Yuga Jivas, Our Annagata Prana, our life is in the grains. So it's very difficult for us to do completely nirjal. Understand? So instead of, if you cannot do complete nirjal, and if you are doing nirjal but sleeping all day long in the bed, not even lifting your finger, not chanting, only thinking of food, when will the next time Paran time so I can eat some chapatis? Then better that you take some fruit and chant Harinam. Understand? Do some seva. Understand? Obviously, in Nirjala Ekadashi, I am not discouraging. It is very good for body and bhakti and everything. Because there is no chance of your vrata breaking if you are doing Nirjal. Because everything is contaminated, Oil, everything, including fruit. The best is you don't Nirjal, but not possible. Mahashivratri should also be done Nirjal. But who can do that? Understand? Who can do that? So, and also rapid succession, 2 fasts are coming. Means like 27th is Ekadashi, then again 1st March is Mahashivratri. So just 1 day gap, understand? So many fasts already finished. So if not possible, okay, take some fruit, some water and do it anyways, Anukalpa. But it should not be Brihat Kalpa. Don't eat too much fruit juices and too much fruit salad and too much dry fruit, too many dry fruit and lassi and all that stuff. Don't overdo it. Just take whatever little bit just to survive. Don't become completely in anxiety. Take some prasadam, like Ekadashi prasadam, only as much as you need. If you cannot do the nirja, understand? Main aim and object is to remember Krishna. Understand?
Even on Shivaratri, you have to take a fast from grains.
Yes. It is like Ekadashi fast. That day, we in respect of Lord Shiva, who is the best of the Vaishnavas, and also Lord Shiva is Mahavishnu too, na? Advaita Acharya is Mahavishnu. So Sadashiva is also Mahavishnu. They are not different. So anyways, Lord Shiva is a very special tattva. But we observe it so that we can please his aspect as Gopishwar Mahadev and he can grant us entrance into Ras Leela, because no one can enter into Ras Leela without the permission of Gopishwar Mahadev and Radharani. Understand? So Gopishwar Mahadev has been appointed as the gatekeeper of Vrindavan. Vrindavana Vanipati. He is the guardian of Vrindavan. He is Soma Maule. His head is decorated by a crescent moon. And he is blessed. He is blessing the 4 Kumaras, Sanak, Sanat, Sanatan, Sanat, and Narad Muni. So therefore, we have to respect Lord Shiva. Understand? We must do that. But we don't offer Bilva leaves to Shivalinga that day. because that is counterproductive for our mood. For our mood. Our mood is that we want to be a gopi, and Lord Shiva also we want to see him as a Gopishwar Mahadev who became a gopi. Understand? And gopis worshipped him as Gopishwar Mahadev in Vrindavan. So we want to worship Lord Shiva and please him, but not in his aspect as Hanuman, because Hanuman can only give us Dasya Bhakti. We want to focus on Lord Shiva's mercy as a Manjari. The Manjaris who were very advanced and who give topmost pleasure to Radha Krishna by their service. They satisfy Radha Krishna. So we want Lord Shiva to bestow upon us that Manjari Bhava or Gopi Bhava, understand, as Gopishwar Mahadev. So we observe that fast. Understand? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Should we be chanting, Maharaj? Sorry, one more question, Maharaj. Should we chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra on either on Shivratri, or should we chant the Shiva Mantra, glorifying Lord Shiva?
Actually, our Sampradaya, we only chant Hare Krishna mantra. We don't so much do Om Namah Shivaya or Om Ganganapate Namah or Rim Klim Chamundaya Vichai, Durga mantra, Kali mantra, Ganesh mantra, Shiva mantra, because we know that the Hare Krishna mantra contains the glorification of Krishna, and if Krishna is glorified, automatically Shiva, Brahma, Ganesh are automatically glorified, because they are also dependent on Krishna and they are in the belly of Krishna. Krishna is the source of them. Understand? So we don't have to chant Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva, Eko Mantra Tasya Namani Yami, Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Gita, Karmapekam Tasya Devasa Seva. Only the Mahamantra, Krishna Nam, Gaurnam, this is what we do on Ekadashi. Lord Shiva is more pleased if someone will chant the name of Ram and Krishna and Hari, Hare Krishna mantra, then he is chanting their names. Lord Shiva is never so happy, even in the company of Parvati. He is not so happy even in the company of Parvati. Understand? If someone is not chanting Hare Krishna mantra. See, Lord Shiva, he loves the Ram Nam, Krishna Nam. See, Lord Shiva has so much place, but he will always keep Parvati on his thigh. On the left thigh, he will make Parvati sit on the left thigh. Why? There shortage of any space in Kailash planet. He could let her sit next to him also. But he is telling that Parvati is always chanting Krishna Nam, Ram Nam, Sankarshan Ram's names. So therefore, I must give her higher place than myself. What is a place higher than myself? That is my own thigh. She always lets her sit on his thigh. His sons like Kartikeya and Ganesh, they always chanting Ram Nam, Krishna Nam. Nama Prabhava Shambhu Avinashi, Saja Mangala Mangala Rashi. Only by chanting the holy name, Lord Shiva has become immortal. Although he is having paraphernalia that is not very auspicious, like the garland of bones, snakes, and other things, still he is the reservoir of all auspiciousness. Although he drank the poison, nothing happened to him because of the power of the Ram Nam. Shiva Janata Nama Prabhava Niko Kala Kuta Phala Dina Miko. Kala Kuta Vish, the most deadliest poison of the snake and scorpion, also could not affect Lord Shiva because of the power of the Ram Nam. So when we chant the Hare Krishna mantra, Lord Shiva is more pleased than if anyone will chant his own name. Understand? But still we have to offer prayer to Lord Shiva as Gopishwar Mahadev that day. Understand? But if you don't know any prayers, then you fold your hands and you just say Hare Krishna. You can chant Hare Krishna before any temple, in any deity, of any demigod also. You can go and chant Hare Krishna mantra sitting before them. They will hear your Hare Krishna mantra, they will be pleased with you. Because they are also happy that someone is chanting the name of the high class devotees. Understand? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So that is the mantra of Lord Shiva, Hare Krishna mantra, Ram Nam, Krishna Nam. Understand? So that day we should only chant Krishna Nam, no other mantra required. That will please Lord Shiva. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Dandavad, sir. Hare Krishna.
Dhanavad.
Hari Bol, Hare Bol. See you everyone, huh? Hare Krishna. Anchada. Vishnu Bhyo Namo. Dandavad, sir. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna,
for
Dandavad,
previous
Maharaj.
Dandavad, Dandavad. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
previous and the Vishnu Patitana Kavana Vishnu
Vishnu Bhyo Namo.
Vishnu.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna, Hare
Maharaj, for coming. Hare
Dandavad, Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Dandavad, Hare Krishna.
Anu Prabhu, can you please say Jai Diwani? Thank you.
हरे कृष्णा श्री श्री गुरु गौरंग गंधर्विका गिरिधारी राधा विनोद बिहारी जी की जय नित्य प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शतशि श्रीमद भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोस्वामी महाराज की जय नित्य प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शतशि श्रीमद भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोस्वामी महाराज की जय नित्य प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शतशि श्रीमद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी महाराज की जय नित्य प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शतशि श्रीमद भक्ति प्रदान केशव गोस्वामी महाराज की जय नित्य प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णुपाद अष्टोत्तर शतशि श्रीला भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय नित्य प्रविष्ट परम भगवत प्रवार श्री श्रीला गौरी किशोर दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय नित्य प्रविष्ट श्री श्रीला सच्चिदानंद भक्ति विनोद ठाकुर की जय नित्य प्रविष्ट वैष्णव सर्वभौम श्री श्रीला जगन्नाथ दास बाबा जी महाराज की जय श्री गौरी वेदांत आचार्य श्री श्रीला बलदेव विद्या भूषण प्रभु की जय श्रीला विश्वनाथ चक्री ठाकुर की जय श्री नरोत्तम श्रीनिवास श्यामानंद प्रभु राय की जय श्री कृष्णदास कविराज गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय श्री रूप सनातन पात रघुनाथ श्री जीवा गोपाल बात दास रघुनाथ सत गोस्वामी प्रभु की जय श्री स्वरूप दामोदर राय रामंदर श्री गौर प्रसाद विंद की जय नामचय श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय प्रेम से कौर श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिव सती गौर भक्त विंद की जय श्री अंदर द्वीप मायापुर सीमंत द्वीप गोतु द्वीप माधव द्वीप कोला द्वीप विदु द्वीप जानु द्वीप मोदा ध्रुम द्वीप रुद्र द्वीप पद्मका श्रीनाथ द्वीप धाम की जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोपा गोपी गो गोवर्धन द्वादश वनत्मका श्री वजन मंदिर की जय श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड गंगा यमुना तुलसी भक्ति देवी की जय श्रीमती विंध्या देवी की जय श्री पूर्णमासी योग माया की जय श्री गोपीश्वर महादेव की जय श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्र सुदर्शन चक्र जीव की जय श्री चैत्र मंदिर की जय सर्व विनाशकर श्री नरसिम्हा देव की जय भक्त प्रभार श्री प्रहलाद महाराज की जय चार धाम की जय चार संप्रदाय के चार आचार्य आचार्य की जय अकर महाराज श्री चैत्र तन्या मात की जय श्री श्री केशव जी गौजे मात ओता सका मात समूह की जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद भागवतम की जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव विंद की सामगाल भक्त विंद की जय श्री निताय गौर प्रेम हरि हरि बोल हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna, thank you, Anup, for that. And thank you, dear devotees, for joining today. And tomorrow we have a program with Shripad Bhakti Vedanta Dandi Maharaj. So Boston time is 4:45 a.m. Hong Kong is 17:45 p.m. India is 15:15 p.m. Singapore is also 17:45 and South Africa is 11:45. So we will hope to see you all tomorrow. Hare Krishna, pranams, take care, Hari Bol.